Hey, good afternoon. I'm Battalion Chief Rich Siebel. I'm here today for our annual or monthly luncheon with all of the Battalion 1 C Platoon officers to discuss all different topics. The main thing today is I want to leave the floor open to all of you once we finish our lunch to see what kind of ideas and thoughts are on your mind. But I'd like to start out with a 3 to 5 minute discussion on two recent policies that we implemented. And I want to just reiterate how important these policies are, the positives of them, but also to be careful to make sure that we don't violate these policies, which in turn would cause discipline or even litigation. So the first policy is the social media usage and conduct policy. Now, you all know that we sent this out at the beginning of the month, and as we always do, we ask everybody in the crew to review the policy and then sign off on it so we know everybody has seen it and understands it. We expect from the officers to explain that to everyone at the station. Social media is here, everyone. It's definitely a platform that's being used for so many good things, but we can also get in trouble if we're not careful. And that's part of the spirit of the policy. The policy is talking about how we want to make sure that we have the administration and management to oversee and run our social media platform, as well as the city's social media, and to make sure that everybody conducts themselves professionally on and off duty. This means if you're going to post anything on the fire department or city social media sites, that you follow the code of conduct policy. In addition, off duty, we will not tolerate anyone talking negative about anyone in the fire department, from the firefighter all the way up to the fire chief. It's too easy for people to get behind a keyboard and say things sometimes when they're mad that they'll regret later. So remind everyone to think before they hit submit. If you violate this policy and do actually conduct yourself in an unprofessional way on or off duty on social media, we will administer discipline. And it's not just going to be a slap on the wrist. We have the media monitoring our social media sites, and we're going to make sure that people understand that we don't want to be in the media with taxpayer dollars paying for our salaries, with people acting unprofessionally and talking about other employees or even people in the public, posting things that are not permitted, such as pictures from emergency scenes. So please remind your people that discipline will be administered if the policies are not followed, code of conduct and the social media and usage. We want it to be a positive. We want to make people understand, hey, the two number one reasons for fires in this town in Raleigh are unattended cooking and discarded smoking materials. We want to get that message out to reduce fires. Now, the second policy also came out at the beginning of the month is the Family and Medical Leave Act. That's a federal law that was enacted in 1996. 12 weeks of unpaid leave that protects your job. But what we have in our fire department is even when you have enough sick leave to cover those 12 weeks, we still want you to be on family and medical leave, which has to be filled out 30 days in advance, a physician certification, and for you to go ahead and follow the proper procedure to make sure that everything is turned in time. You've been a full-time employee for 12 months, 1,250 hours in that previous year. But one of the biggest parts of that litigation-wise that we have to watch out for is retaliation or harassment. We now have parental leave for spouses, meaning the firefighter's wife has a child, they have up to a year to have 8 weeks of paid parental leave to use. We have veteran firefighters here now that are upset about this because when their children were growing, the city did not have that policy. We expect people to follow it. We expect people not to retaliate or harass people. There could be litigation. If somebody feels they harassed it, they'll come after the city and the fire department. Discipline will be administered if we find out any of this is going on in the station, and possibly could even get worse. We never want it to even start. We're expecting the officers to go ahead and make sure that they reiterate this. This is a positive, everyone. Social media can be positive for us. Let's keep it that way. Let's conduct ourselves professionally on and off duty. And also, Family and Medical Leave Act, make sure that all the employees are aware of the folder that has all the checkoff list, how to fill everything out, eligibility, and no retaliation from those who don't use the actual family and medical leave. Thank you. Let's sit down. I'm going to open up the floor to everyone now to have a good discussion. Thank you.